Hi, everybody. Welcome to Good Morning Minneapolis. I'm your host, Don, here with Jester. See, it's all jokes and smiles now. Just wait.
You're watching So Off. This is Freddy Krueger saying hi.
There was an election recently, yesterday,
Right.
and we're just going to talk about it.
Okay.
Our thoughts. We maybe will never post this,
Why not?
or maybe we will. I think it might just be cathartic for us to talk about it.
Okay.
Because I think it's safe to say we're both upset about it.
Yeah. I went into it, I guess, hopeful.
I wouldn't even say I went into it hopeful. I went into it, it never crossed my mind that Donald Trump would win, that Donald Trump would ever be president. Never even occurred to me that he had an iota of a chance. I'm not even talking about all the polls.
Right. But the polls agreed with you.
Right.
They did.
I think he was the most unfavored candidate in history or something.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, they were both incredibly unpopular.
Right.
But
I'm not a huge gung-ho Hillary Clinton supporter. I don't think she would have been an ideal president. But Lord, she would have been better than Donald Trump. Maybe. He's unfit to be president. I want to be optimistic.
I don't.
I mean...
I don't. And a lot of people, I mean, like on Facebook, I'm finding a lot of people that are trying to be optimistic, which I respect, but I totally disagree with it.
What's the other option?
To fight.
What do you mean fight?
I mean, half the country decided to vote for hate, and they were privileged enough to do that. They were so privileged that I don't think they even realized that they were voting for hate. Like, they saw a woman that had all these emails that they don't even know anything about.
Right, I didn't understand any of that.
And they decided that her email scandal made her unfit to be president.
And he's currently being investigated for rape,
Yes.
I believe. Among other things.
Among other things.
Did people vote for Donald? Or did they vote against Hillary?
I think they did both. I think they voted for change.
Because he was the worst candidate I've ever seen.
Right.
The debates, his performances at all three debates was horrifically bad. Hillary is the best debater I've seen since Bill Clinton, possibly since Ronald Reagan. She was phenomenal at the debates. That was her thing. I don't know, how did this guy win? It was the worst campaign in Canada I've ever seen. But he won.
He won.
I mean, it wasn't a landslide. It was incredibly close. I think they're still... I don't even know if Minnesota... Have they even finished counting Minnesota?
I think they finished counting Minnesota.
Was it Hillary Clinton?
Yes.
Thank God.
But she won the popular vote.
Yeah. That's not how it
Which
works.
means nothing.
Yeah. Well, so it's so the most high density areas can't dictate the country. In theory. I mean, this was devised, 240 years ago. They came up with that nonsense. It was before they had computers to actually calculate millions of votes.
Right.
What I said on Twitter was, well, all we can hope for is that the Donald who no longer has to pander for votes is a lot less of an asshole. Because maybe this guy who's now won, because along the campaign trail, literally everything he said was a lie. Like, he would contradict everything he's ever said.
Yeah.
So it's impossible to know what he's going to do, what his platform is, what his presidency will be. He could be as crazy. Maybe he'll be the greatest president this world has ever seen. There's no way to know. I mean, it's a safe bet he's going to be shitty. His acceptance, I didn't watch the speech. I heard clips. I can't watch it.
I haven't even heard any clips.
But it wasn't what everybody expected. He didn't gloat. He had very nice things to say about Hillary, which seems phony. But I also didn't watch Hillary's concession speech.
I couldn't watch it.
But I did watch just now Obama's speech. It was quite good. It was very hopeful. I think he was talking to Donald as much as the people who were upset at Clinton's loss. But it was a very good speech. Which makes it sad because he's a good man. That's the really weird thing about this whole campaign is Obama's the worst. Everything's a disaster. Like he's been a pretty, by any reasonable measure, he's been a above average president.
I think
America's great.
I think right now people are feeling mad about the rising cost of their health insurance.
My health insurance went up.
So did mine.
I mean, is Obamacare perfect? No. My healthcare. I mean, but what did it go up like $15 a month?
I think what actually went up is our deductible.
Yeah, the deductible.
I don't know if the monthly.
I think my monthly went up a little bit.
Okay. But I know the deductible went up for sure.
But if I have to pay a little bit, so 1 million people who didn't have healthcare now have healthcare, I'm okay with it. Because I'm a good person.
Yeah, I am too. But I think you and I are fortunate in that our prices didn't go up dramatically.
Right.
I mean, my uncle has to no longer have health insurance, and instead he's deciding he's going to pay the fine because he can't afford his monthly payments. He has no choice but to finish out the year, but he can't afford it. So I think that's where a lot of anger comes in right now. But I'm not mad at him.
No, I love him.
I was able to stay on my mother's health insurance for an extra 3 years, I think, because of his health care plan. He extended the age for children to be on parents' health insurance.
It's just so because what I said to you a while ago, because I believe this to be true, as I said, the nation elected a black man in Barack Obama twice. They will never elect another Republican. I was wrong. Like, where did all those people go who voted for a black man? Not just a black man named, like, Forrest Whitaker. No. Barack Obama. Barack Hussein Obama.
Right.
Like, where did they go? Why didn't these people elect Mitt Romney? Who I think is... I've thought about this as well. I think Mitt Romney is probably more sexist than Donald Trump. The things he said were more horrifying to me. But he was a politician. Like, there's no tape of him talking about, like, pussies. But, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with you.
That's fair. But I'm just saying, another thing I've thought is, at least it's not Ted Cruz. Like, it could have been. Like, hands down, this was, even on the Democrat side, this was the worst gang of losers I've ever seen. People love Bernie Sanders for some reason. I don't get it. I don't get the Bernie Sanders thing. By far and away, Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders would not have won. Calm down, everybody.
He wouldn't have. He wouldn't have.
Ted Cruz. Who else? Who was the other one? With Chris Christie, Jeb Bush. Jeb Bush was gone just like that.
Marco Rubio. John Kasich.
That guy. Ben Carson.
Ben Carson.
Seriously, the worst group
Carly Fiorina. Is
Carly
that how you say it?
Fiorina. Well, I didn't. She was the yeah.
She was the woman.
The woman. Makes you long for. I mean, I'm not saying long for Mitt Romney because he was a dud. John McCain, at one point in his career, I think, could have been a great president. Like 30 years ago. Bob Dole. Bring back Bob Dole.
Is it The Simpsons that always make fun of Bob Dole saying Bob Dole?
Maybe.
Someone out there will know.
But anyway, what I wanted to say, and I was going to write a blog about this, maybe I still will, and I was going to say that for the past 8 years, there have been people in this country terrified of Barack Obama, right?
Right.
Terrified that he's going to take their guns away, even though I don't believe he did any legislation in 8 years
I don't think so.
for gun control.
Not that I remember.
Terrified that he's a socialist. Terrified that he's not even an American. Just terrified. And I always scoffed at that. But that's the way I feel now. Like I'm terrified of this new president-to-be.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying their fear was justified. I'm saying, oh, so that's what it's like.
Right. I mean, last night, or really early this morning, I went to bed with knots in my stomach.
I went to bed with knots in my stomach. I slept like 2 hours last night.
Yeah.
And I had nightmares.
I woke up to still have knots in my stomach, and my chest felt heavy, and and before I even got out of bed, I was crying.
Yeah, I held back tears. What I was afraid of, because we were at Starbucks, and I opened, you set up the store in the morning, and part of that is you bring in the newspapers. And I knew if I put out the newspapers and I had a picture of Trump and it said president, it'll be there tomorrow. This was, the race was so close that when they had to go to press before, but I mean, they knew. But I imagined tomorrow was going to be, but tomorrow's another day. But if this, you know what I'm saying? Like if this morning, if I had looked at the paper, I would have just started weeping.
This morning, I believe it was two women who looked like they could cry. And then next to them from the Trump campaign, it was two young white men celebrating.
Sure. I'm a young white man. Wait, I'm not young. Compared to Donald Trump, he's 70.
You're not, these two look like they could have been 18. we don't look like we're 18 anymore.
Because for a lot, white privilege has been a thing in the media and in popular culture. I guess for a long, it's been a thing going back generations. But it has been a popular phrase for like the past couple of years. Maybe not even, maybe just the past year.
Yeah.
A buzzword. And it was something I didn't, on a theoretical level, I understand the concept of white privilege. But I don't necessarily think it applies. You know what I'm saying? However, today, and even a little bit last night, like I woke up in the morning and I said, oh, that's what white privilege is. Because I'm not in danger. I was I thought to myself, oh, I hope it doesn't fuck up my health care.
Right.
Then I thought, well, but maybe it'll be cheaper. But nobody is going to be coming and knocking down my door at 10 o'clock at night and deporting me.
Right.
Or giving me behavioral therapy. Or just, I don't have a president who has accusers who look like me that, who have said, oh, he's trying to rape me. I'm scared for the country. I'm upset because you're upset. My mother's upset. My sister. Both of my sisters. My mother is looking into moving. As she said on Facebook, I don't want to live in a country where Hitler is our president. That's what she said. She said the same thing about George W. Bush. And I used to defend George W. Bush to her. He's not Hitler, Mom. Donald Trump is not Hitler either. But I think he's indefensible. What's my point? Anyway. Okay, that's what white privilege is.
I also looked into moving.
Yes.
When I tried, the website would not load for me.
No, I saw that was one of the headlines, immigration website crashed.
Yeah. I agree with your mother. In fact, today I did compare Donald Trump to Hitler.
He's not Hitler. He's not Hitler. He hasn't caused genocide.
But I think he has the potential to.
Donald Trump has the potential to be Warren Harding. Possibly the most colossally inept, corrupt president. George W. Bush, terrible president. How many trillions of dollars in debt were we because of the war and how many people died? How would we compare? I wouldn't even compare him to Hitler, although he has a lot of deaths on his conscience.
I wouldn't compare George W. Bush to Hitler. I don't think that's a fair comparison.
I wouldn't compare anybody to Hitler, except for maybe Stalin or Pol Pot.
Stalin's fair.
Right. Ceausescu.
This is the reason I agree with your mother. This is the reason that I said it today. He has said that he's going to round up Muslims. He's said he's going to round up immigrants and ship them back to where they came from. His vice president believes gay people can be cured with electroshock therapy. Today, Mike Pence assured everyone that Donald Trump would be anti-LGBTQ. Donald Trump went into the dressing rooms of the Miss America pageants that he hosted while teenage girls were getting undressed. He's right now, he has some kind of rape thing going on. I don't know what it is. He is serving one type of person.
Right?
No, not you.
Me if I had money.
You're part Jewish. You are a liberal person. You are not a religious person. He's not serving you.
I don't even have that.
You don't have that.
So what you and my mother are saying is not that he's Hitler circa 1940, but that it's 1926 or something. He's in the beer hall, standing up on the table making his spiel.
Yeah.
Where he was arrested, and then in jail he wrote Mein Kampf. See, what you are seeing the seeds of Hitler.
Yeah.
I get it.
So that's why I woke up so afraid today. And I sat in my little cocoon of a home on my couch with Daisy next to me for hours this morning before Daisy decided she wanted to go for a walk. So I didn't have to emerge into this world for a few hours.
Start over. I got a text.
I really have to start over.
I'll cut around it, or I'll leave it in.
It's okay with me if you leave it in. Okay. But when I did finally go outside, and maybe this is just me projecting my own energy and my own feelings into the space that I was in, but the world felt different to me.
at 100%. And I don't know yet if it's better or worse.
For me, it's worse.
I think I see things differently. The world looked a little drabber. Like at one point I was at work. Our Starbucks is all windows. It's beautiful. You can see the sunrise. But the day looked dirty and gray.
Yeah.
And it's actually quite a nice
It's
day.
a very beautiful day, actually.
But here's where I am now. And I don't know how full of shit I am. But this is the way I feel. It's going to be a rocky 4 years. Potentially.
Yeah, potentially.
But I love my job. We both work together. But we sometimes will complain about people we work with, about customers, about corporate decisions, just about day-to-day things. Everybody complains about their job. I didn't complain about my job at all today.
Right.
I didn't let anybody annoy me. I tried to be positive. I tried to be nice to everybody. I tried to be nice anyway. But
You do it better than anybody else we work with.
I made a concerted effort to be nice to everybody, to not let things bother me that I usually let bother me. Moving forward, I would like to be a better person and make the world a better place. And I would challenge everybody else to do that as well, to help each other do that. Because we don't have to be our president. He can be shit. But because we have a lot of Muslim customers.
We do.
And I was extra warm with them. I don't know if that's racist.
It's
not.
not.
I want them to feel welcome. Because we work with Muslims. One. And she's the best. She's hilarious. She's a lovely person. There is a huge Somalian population in Minneapolis.
I live in the heart of it.
So
That's
when
who I voted with yesterday.
But
You should have seen my line of people. It was me and a bunch of Somali Americans.
Voting.
They were, yeah. I mean, some of them had people with them to help them read English and to just help them communicate with the people that were volunteering there. And that is who I voted with.
These are Americans.
Yeah.
Like when I hear the rhetoric about Muslims, it's like that's not any Muslim I've ever heard of, I've ever met.
We elected our first Somali American legislator. I know what you're saying. I get it.
What am I saying?
You're trying to be kind.
Not even trying to be kind. I want to finally do all the things I wish I had done years ago. Teach people to read English. Volunteer. We've talked about that a long time.
We have.
We should volunteer. We've never done it.
We've never done it.
And
We
maybe
sit on the
never will
couch
do it.
instead.
But I think when there's adversity, you should let it make you stronger and better.
Now I'm going to say this.
Say it.
As a woman and as an LGBTQI plus person, I have adversity already.
Yeah, I didn't mean that.
I know you didn't. I know you didn't. But I don't need more. Muslims don't need more. People of color don't need more. Disabled people don't need more. And today we had to wake up to a president that has mocked us, that has told us we don't deserve the rights that we have finally gotten. And I tried to sit through all my feelings and figure out if I was angry or just upset or frustrated. And I mean, I'm all of those things. But what I was really feeling was fear. And even as I took Daisy for a walk, I mean, there really weren't people around. It was sort of eerie. I walk right across from an elementary school, and usually when I take Daisy for a walk, there's kids everywhere, but there weren't any. But a car pulled up beside me, and I immediately thought, are my pants too baggy? Can he see my flannel shirt? Is my hair too short?
It's the Pence Patrol. Was it the Pence Patrol?
It was. My fear was unfounded. But I mean, that's what this has caused me to feel today.
The first person I saw this morning was my coworker Heather at 4 in the morning because we opened the store together. It was the first person I had seen since I knew who had won. And we both literally just looked at each other. We didn't even say anything. We were both like, yeah. And we didn't really talk. But she was very upset. And most of the customers that came over were upset. And we're never leaving Minnesota.
No.
Because this is... Minnesota has the worst winters, except for maybe Albany.
They're bad here.
They're bad.
We both hate driving in the snow.
Hate driving in the snow. But people here are kind.
Right.
And they vote with their hearts.
I was going to share this quote, which you have already read. It's on my Facebook this morning. But before I say it, I'm not this person. Like, as much as I want it to be, it's not my way. And there's a dog
vomiting
back
dog
here.
over here.
Koopy, are you okay?
The life of a dog.
That's Koopy. So my quote is not me. I don't have this calmness inside me.
Don't be so sure.
I have like burning rage inside me right now. If anyone can figure out where this quote is from, because I'm not telling, you get a high five from me. Anyway, it says, "It's hard, the way of love. It may not be right for you, but if you choose to follow it, you must do so with all your heart. You'll fail more than once, but don't give up hope. In the end, we'll redeem the world." You want to sit on my lap? Nope. Not at all.
Thanks for watching, everybody. See you in 4 years.
I have one more quote. Be kind to one another.